President, your commitment to non-violence and the democratic process, your engagement in supporting young women and men, in supporting girls' education, in supporting the role of new technologies for human development. I see all of this as an inspiration for the continent and for people across the world. You have striven tirelessly to build peace, to foster economic development, and these efforts are embodied today in Ghana's stability and growth. You have matched this with a deep commitment to providing quality education to every citizen of Ghana. I wish to take this opportunity to commend you for increasing public expenditure on education over the past 4 years. This has led to a significant increase in pre-primary and primary enrollments. This has catalyzed progress towards gender equality in education, the empowerment of girls and women, and at the end of the day, of eradicating extreme poverty and for sustainable development.
Ambassadors, my fellow citizens, bonsoir and congratulations on the 70th anniversary of the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO. To you, Madam Director General, I extend warm greetings from the government and people of Ghana, and congratulations on the steadfast manner you've been managing this organization, especially in the face of significant cuts in your financial resources. Since addressing the 70th session of the United Nations General Assembly last week in New York, I have spent the last few days talking to students and faculty of institutions of higher learning on the West Coast of the United States. I have done this ever since I started attending the United Nations General Assembly to help market my country's potential, share Ghana and Africa's story with the world, and also get an opportunity to interact with young people in school, and also interact with my own country folk who may not have been back home for a very long time. From these positive engagements, it is more than an honor for me to be here for only the second time in my life at UNESCO, to share some thoughts with your excellencies and distinguished guests on the occasion of the 70th anniversary of your organization. Just like the mother organization, the United Nations Office, UNESCO has, in the last 70 years, impacted the lives of many people across the world through education, the sciences, culture, information, communications, and technology. The world appreciates the work UNESCO continues to do despite the current financial limitations and new forms of challenges such as the destruction of cultural heritage sites, the looting and sale of cultural heritage artifacts by terrorist groups. The destruction of World Heritage Sites in places such as Mali, Iraq, Yemen, and Syria is truly disheartening. That is why I am in full support of the resolve of UNESCO in condemning these acts and will lend my support to the Unite for Heritage campaign and the Bond Declaration issued by the World Heritage Committee at its meeting in June and July this year. Your Excellencies, we must treat the destruction of these heritage sites as a crime against humanity as contained in the Bond Declaration. In my discussions with Madame Irina before entering this hall, I expressed on behalf of my people and government our recognition of the positive cooperation we have had with UNESCO since the 11th of April 1958, when Ghana joined as a member. The impact of UNESCO's support on the success of our educational sector has been significant. We shall continue our collaboration in the training of teachers, the development of curricula, the enhancement of human resource capacity in education, and the overall improvement of teaching and learning in our schools. It is not only the performance of our students at the various levels that is improving, but we have, through a complementary basic education program, which we began in 2014, offered opportunities to more than 100,000 out-of-school children to go back to school. 4 regions were covered before this year, and the program has begun this year in the remaining 6 regions of Ghana. School enrollment is increasing very fast, and in order to ensure that there are enough facilities for the huge number exiting the junior high school, we currently have under construction a total of 123 community day secondary schools across the country, and mostly in previously underserved areas to absorb the JHS graduates. A new initiative has also begun from this academic year to progressively make secondary education free in Ghana. From this academic year, therefore, all day students have had fees including tuition, library, and other fees parents were previously burdened with removed. We shall in the future remove all other fees and extend the policy to boarding students as well. This is in line with our Constitution, which enjoins us to make secondary education progressively free. In all these, however, the focus on ensuring quality education will not be lost. This informs the development of career development training for teachers at the basic education level, as well as ongoing in-service training for mathematics and science teachers. One area we will be working closely with UNESCO on is in information communication and technology. We have, in our quest to equip our students with ICT skills in line with the new media opportunities of today, made ICT an examinable subject in our schools. To support teaching and learning, we have over the last years commenced the provision of schools with laptops and internet services where possible. Teachers are also receiving specialized training in ICT. This, however, has to be enhanced and especially ensure free internet services to help making teaching and learning effective. Madam Director General, Your Excellencies, Ghana has of today ratified all existing UNESCO conventions. Ghana has 2 sites inscribed on the World Heritage List, the last of which was inscribed in 1980. These are the slave castles on Ghana's coast. And let me take the opportunity to express Ghana's appreciation to UNESCO for all the work that has been done on preserving the history of the transatlantic slave trade. This is part of the living history of humanity and is the genesis of the globalization of the world economy. We are truly grateful to UNESCO for keeping this history alive. I have tasked my team to work closely with the World Heritage Center and the advisory bodies to ensure that we have a lot more sites inscribed on the World Heritage Sites list. I wish at this point to thank UNESCO for facilitating a $1.4 million support from the Spanish Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Environment to finance the sustainable management of the Lake Bosumtwi in the Ashanti region. This project is aimed at enhancing the sustainable management of the lake, which happens to be the largest natural lake in West Africa. It is my sincere hope that this project, Lake Bosumtwi, will at the next meeting of the Man and Biosphere Council be enlisted as a biosphere reserve. The Intergovernmental Oceanographic Commission of UNESCO has also supported the installation of a sea level station as well as global navigation satellite system receivers at Takoradi in the western region of Ghana, and has also assisted in the establishment of a national oceanographic data and information center at the Marine Fisheries Research Division. The IOC is at present supporting the development of a coastal and marine atlas for Ghana, as well as a digital repository for marine literature. UNESCO's role and initiative for the youth is worth praising. I pledge my support for these initiatives towards having a youth which is not also only educated, but also non-radicalized and tolerant of other people's cultures and opinion. Madam Director General, I'm pleased to know the work that UNESCO is doing as a key partner in the forthcoming COP21 here in Paris. And I pledge that all of us leaders in the world will come to Paris determined to achieve sustainable development of our planet. It is my hope that this meeting in Paris will result in the attainment of more pragmatic, measurable, and achievable objectives. Your Excellencies, I want to end my address with some paragraphs from my address at the UN Summit on Sustainable Development for the benefit of some of you who have not had the opportunity to hear it. And I quote, "What we have adopted today and referred to simply as the SDGs is perhaps the most ambitious transformational development ever attempted in the history of the United Nations. We must tackle these challenges identified in the 17 goals as a matter of urgency, and we can also seize the opportunity offered by the adoption of the SDGs to tackle the unfinished business of the Millennium Development Goals. In pursuing the SDGs, it is important for us to redefine a new paradigm of development. The current high consumption of wasteful society we classify as developed cannot be the model for sustainable development. If the current attraction of the big cities of the so-called developed world, such as shopping malls busting at the seams with all kinds of consumer goods, glitzy neon lighting, and fast food franchises are the standard to be classified as developed, then we will need 2 more planets the size of our Earth to maintain and sustain the human race. Madam Director General, the world's resources are not infinite. If we are to attain the objective of a sustainable consumption and production pattern as listed under Goal 12 of the SDGs, then it will be necessary for us to review the relations between labor, production, and capital. I thank you for your kind attention. Merci beaucoup.